Hello, beloved ones here. Gao Motsemme is my name, Gao the Queen. And I'm just here today to have a bit of a conversation with you on our series of letting go. And today we are releasing the fear of vulnerability. And I know that for most of us, vulnerability feels like a risk that we are not willing to take. So I just invite you to connect to your body. When you hear someone talking about vulnerability, what is coming to your mind? Most importantly, how is your body responding? What if I told you that vulnerability is a superpower? How does that make you feel? Does that change anything? Does your body embrace that? Or there's a bit of fear that is coming through when you just imagine yourself being vulnerable? Is there a part of you that feels like if you are vulnerable, you are giving somebody an opportunity to attack you? Because that's a myth that we've been taught for a long time. If I'm vulnerable, I'll be taken advantage of. Where are you telling yourself that? Where have you learned that vulnerability is your weakness? And what is it that you are protecting? Vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's your rawest, most authentic power. And speaking of this, I'm just being reminded of one of my clients. And she said, I went through an experience where the way I was punished by my parents, it felt like they felt that they were sort of like winning when they were beating me and I would cry. So at some point, I told them myself that I'm not going to give them that satisfaction. So she shut off. And that did not only cost her connection to herself, but it cost her connection to her husband. It cost her connection to her beloved children. Everyone around her was treading on that insecurity line, telling her, I love you so often, just because they were not sure if they were really loved. And it blocked a lot of things, including abundance, from her life. She never received any gifts or anything, not because she didn't want them. She didn't even know how to ask for help because she still didn't want to be seen as weak. And I know, especially when you're talking about high achievers, there are a lot of you that live your life from this lie that I don't want to be perceived as weak. But guess what? You are not present either. If you are busy protecting yourself from the world, because when you are protecting yourself from the world, that's like your defensive mechanism. That's your wounds that are more louder. You're not going to be able to receive. One thing that I'll have to say is that we've got only one heart, right? And you can't say, I'm going to use this heart to protect it from being hurt, and I'm going to use this heart to open it so that I can receive. The level that you are opening, you are closing your heart, you are closing it from everything. I don't care what you have. But if you were to open a little bit more, if you were to relax a little bit more, if you were to allow yourself to feel a little bit more, you realize that a lot of things don't have to be hard work, right? This is why a lot of people are in burnout, because they don't even know how to ask for help. They don't even know how to receive help. I've seen this in my clients. I've seen this in my own life. And it's not for a magical queen or king that you are, because we often forget who we are, right? So I'm just inviting you, like I said, connect with the word vulnerability and see what your body, how your body is responding. And as I'm sharing the experiences of my clients, connect with your own experience. When did you allow someone fully in your life, trusted them, and then they whether betrayed you, and you learn that you have to close your heart again? I'm smiling because I was talking to someone, just a teenage boy yesterday, and he said, when I open my heart to someone, and I was like, I'm just gonna trust this person, then the very same person that I wanted to trust hurt me. The truth is, the moment of those deep connection that you desire, when you let your guard, your when you let your guard down, that's when the real connection begins. When you are busy being afraid of being yourself, you are always here in the mind. And most of the people, the reason why they feel like I missed something and I don't even know how I missed that is because they are busy trying to look for what is wrong with other people. Can I trust this person, or I need to protect myself? They are mostly in the mind. I don't care what good line you get and all that, but on the other hand, if you don't back up that with your energy, if you do not embody that, you may have a good line, but it doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't matter whether it's in business, in your personal life, whether you're a coach, a healer, whatever, psychologist. If you are not embodying what you're saying, even a leader, it means nothing. That's why two people can come through and communicate something, but they're gonna get somebody. There is somebody who when they show up, that energy is what is just gonna excite people. People are gonna open up to you. And often people open up to us at the level that we are open to ourselves. And I always say a closed hand does not receive. If you walk like this and you're expecting to receive something, even if somebody's trying to give you something, how are you going to have it? How are you going to hold that? And so is the closed heart. Right? So this is my invite today. So I'm just asking you to connect more with your body. Because the truth is, when you lean into your truth, you heal fractured parts of yourself. The parts that have been longing, crying, kicking, waiting to be seen and loved, but most importantly by you. Because it's very easy for us to think that we're looking for love outside of ourselves, but we want it, we long it from ourselves. It's quite interesting because there is something that I posted and somebody responded to that. They said, I've given up in life. And I had a conversation, a little bit of back and forth. And I asked this person one question. What do you think will best save you? I was offering to help. And this was not the first person. I've seen this so many times. And she said, there's no how you can help me. Feeling unloved. She said something about feeling unloved. That's how she feels. She feels unloved. And I tried to call her and she didn't pick up. And I was like, wow, this is quite interesting, right? Somebody is talking about the low place that she's at, but at the same time, she's not open to receive any help. But at times it's not someone, people are not even aware that they're not open to receive help because they're so caught up making love with their pain. And the only person that they can relate to is somebody who is meeting them in that pain and kind of like, oh, life is difficult and all that, right? So if you are afraid of being vulnerable, you are denying yourself the magic of life. You are denying yourself an opportunity to make love with life, to make love with yourself, to make love with those people that you love. Just take a deep breath there. So I've got a bit of homework for you as we hear, but I just wanted to remind you that if you want to heal yourself, if you want to love yourself, the most important thing is to be with you. And what is coming to mind as I'm speaking about this is I know that in the South, development world, there is this illusion, like now the trending thing is kind of like, oh my God, how can I, what do they say, regulate my emotions and all that, which is still part of those bullshit. You want to regulate your emotions, it doesn't help because you have not healed what is at the core. So it's a trap that you see people talking about, oh, I learned how to regulate my emotions and then I must have, then you want to run around and do that. What is at the core of that? Because emotions are not the enemy, they are the evidence of life. And the magic is being able to be with yourself. Because if at all you've got some aspect of yourself that you are ashamed of, you don't want to be seen, you don't want to identify with that, you just like holding into this illusion or this perfect picture somebody, then you are denying you. It doesn't matter how much you're trying to because it's when you have not healed and you're trying to regulate your emotions, what are you doing? You are repressing and suppressing what is. You do not want to deal with what is. You do not even know what the core of it is. So it's more like trying to manage the shadow, manage the chaos, right? It doesn't help you. So sometimes people rush to just buy what is out there in the social media. You ignore the fact that you are different, you are you are unique, your situation is unique. Because no matter what you're dealing with, you cannot heal it if you do not feel it. This is why it's important that you get to be with yourself. Because vulnerability, one thing again, is the gateway to intimacy with yourself and with others. So if you want a very deeply fulfilling, connected relationship, then you better take the leap and set yourself free. You are the only one who can only set yourself free. You get to be comfortable being with yourself. Like I said, I've got a bit of homework here for you. And I just want to remind you of this actually before I go into the homework part. That love making isn't just about physical connection, it's about emotional surrender. It's about letting someone see the depth of your soul. It's about you being unguarded and raw. And actually, when you're talking about the feminine energy, which is the word that we also throw around when it comes to that feminine energy, it's just that the wildness, the chaos, the uncertainty that is allowing yourself to be in the moment and allowing whatever part of yourself to show up, right? It's your superpower. But if at all you have an illusion of this is how I have to appear, you're gonna miss on the most important thing. Because vulnerability, like I said, and true intimacy begins when you allow yourself to be seen, when you are open enough and truthful with yourself. Most importantly, allowing yourself to be seen and to be heard in your truth. What is your truth? I'll ask this question way too many times in this series. What is your truth? And are you comfortable speaking your truth often, or you more hide? One of those things is like the intelligent mask is one of the things that we often hide behind, where we don't share our truth, whether it's with friends, in a relationship, we don't share our truth. Where are you afraid of sharing your truth? So here's your homework for today. My favorite. What part of me is most afraid of being seen in my truth? Doesn't matter whether it's tears and all that. And I love to talk about this. I love to talk about just being open, even when you make laugh, and allowing your heart to open. Because when you love making is also a healing process on its own. And often when you make love, you are vulnerable, right? And when you are with somebody who can hold space for you, hold space for all aspects of yourself, when you're supposed to be having that orgasm, you can have those tears just coming through. And that might be your truth at that moment. And you wouldn't even know how to explain it, but there you are. I know it was one of the beautiful moments when I just connected with myself, and I didn't even know why I was crying, but I know that I was feeling something so deep in my heart. And I just needed to just be in it and not make it wrong, or make it believe that it has to be a certain way and all that. Sometimes when you are in your mind, this is where you are, you don't allow yourself to experience life. You often running with an illusion of whatever that you think is true. So what part of you is afraid of being seen in your truth? And another one, what is the gift that vulnerability could bring to my life right now? I want you to journal on these questions. What is the gift that vulnerability could bring into your life today? And the action that I want you to take, share one vulnerable truth about yourself with someone that you trust. I said someone that you trust. And if at all someone that is close to you, you don't trust them, then I guess it's something to reflect on. What part of you is being around people that you do not trust? What is what is bringing you into those relationships? Oh my God. And when I'm talking about this, I remember when I was so flipping pissed off with my ex, and I don't even know what that is all about. But yeah, there is something that is clearing on the throat. And it's not surprising because we're speaking about being seen in our truth. I was so flipping angry with my ex, but most of all, there was a part of me that was feeling like a victim. And while I was in that, the question that came through from my higher self was just simple. What attracted you to him? What attracted you to him? And that caught me off guard. Because every time when I'm getting these questions, for me, it's like they're coming through with the download, the highest knowing is just coming through. And I don't know, I'm just feeling emotional. Yeah, I was blown away because when I connected to that, I realized that I wanted to be accepted. And at that moment, it's kind of like I saw my mirror. He wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be accepted. And it was like, oh my God, right? But on the other hand, he doesn't have the capacity to accept and love me at the level that I desire to be accepted and loved if he doesn't love himself, and vice versa. So while you meditating or journaling on this is also one most important thing. You cannot grow or evolve into anything or heal anything if you are not willing to be gut level honest with yourself. It requires you to look in the mirror. Do you love the person that you see? Are you willing to open up and be honest with yourself? Or you're going to decorate all the shame, you're going to decorate all those anger, you're going to decorate all that and make it look beautiful? And one of the ways that people decorate these things is at times even telling themselves a lie that, oh, this person ended up cheating on me, or he left because I loved him so much. I am just a loving person. He couldn't handle the love that I had for him. Really? Or you didn't love yourself enough and you just wanted him to stay and you couldn't share your truth? Because there is nothing that is like repulsive as someone who's claiming to be who they are not. Inauthenticity, it has a certain kind of energy. I've just paired with a certain kind of smell as well. It doesn't matter how much somebody's. It's quite interesting. I didn't want this to be long, but what is coming to mind is like I tried to be in a relationship with this other guy some other time after I did my own inner work and all that. That guy, like when I look at the version of me that is unhealed, I would say, oh, that guy really loved me. That was like the version of me that wanted somebody to sort of not love themselves and sort of see me as this goddess or whatever, but yet they don't see themselves as the god. That was the version of myself that would be turned on by that kind of, and I would say unworthiness, living from unworthiness. You know, it's kind of like I've attracted a lot of people who at the beginning they like adored me. There was something about me that was just like, this girl, this woman. But again, when they got me, it was kind of like, we're just gonna bring her into her place, because that was not embodied. That was, I had that within me, but I didn't embody that. But when I attracted this person, it was kind of like, I just want to make you happy no matter what you want. But it had the energy of, it was too much for this person. It was like, when somebody even gives you a gift, but you feel that is I don't even know how to describe it to you. So all in all, what I'm saying here is, there is nothing that is repulsive as in authenticity. There is nothing that is repulsive as insecurity. So you better work on yourself. You better embody your vulnerability, but coming from the power that it holds for you. Don't use it as a manipulation. I'm gonna be vulnerable. Maybe trying to manipulate someone into feeling sorry for you, because that also stinks. It's not attractive at all, and it's not for a queen or a king like you. Actually, men also have this thing of, at times they can just be vulnerable and talk about how much they've been hurt. They were hurt so bad, and they're trying to heal yet, and you look at them and like, oh, he needs some time. That woman really hurt him. But in truth, they're just telling you that so that you can feel sorry, because they know that you have that loving energy, nurturing energy, especially if you are not connected, for you to be able to discern between someone who's trying to use whatever lies that they're using. Or it doesn't matter whether they're wounded, but at the end of the day, you are not here to heal them. Which takes me to another thing, that at times they want to heal in your sexual energy, because you're not willing to use that to create what you desire. So they're telling you what you want to hear. I've been hurt, so I'm not really sure about a relationship, but at the same time they want to sleep with you. What the fuck is that? I mean, really? So if you are not embodied and not knowing your space, baby, you're gonna be like, yeah, they need some time, and then you are busy pouring into them. But what they're indirectly telling you is that you are not the one for them. You are not the one for them. So they're using whatever story, wounds, and all that. Sometimes it's not even about a relationship with someone who's not willing to do the work. What is coming to mind is someone who's dealing maybe with addiction issues and be like, yeah, this is like temporary because my ex-wife, whatever, I'm being stressed and all that and all the bullshit. They don't want to be vulnerable with themselves. They don't want to take responsibility and say, I'm dealing with an addiction and I'm willing, like, I need your hand in this, but this is the real story. And this is also one thing that helps, because it helps you to know what you're dealing with, rather than somebody lying to you because they want you to think that the problem is coming from an external source, somebody outside is causing, so I'm just going to stop there. Release the fear of vulnerability and embody your power, because the magic word that is also going to help you, it's going to help you to put an end when somebody's coming through. It doesn't matter what they're saying, but you're just going to tell them as it is. Are they going to be uplifted by the truth that you're sharing and realize that you want them to be better, or they're going to shake and leave? Then so be it. Doesn't matter whether it's friendship, whatever, as long as you know you're coming from the place of love. Much love. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.